2 weeks ago, on a fine Sunday afternoon, I was on the road. There is nothing, and there is absolutely nothing better than being on ground, meeting people, sharing their laughter, and listening to their stories. But let's get back to the moment. That day, by sheer chance, I bumped into two foreigners. They were here, researching and making a documentary film on India. One conversation led to another, and before I knew, it was 4 hours that had passed. We spoke of global politics, of India and Britain, of Bangladesh and its place in history. I didn't record everything, and I believe some words are meant to live only in memory. But here is an excerpt from that encounter, a glimpse of voices crossing borders, weaving through time, and I would like to share it with you.
Foreigner looking Bengali. So how do you find India?
Fantastic. I love India. I've been to India many times. The first time I came was in 2004, and I spent a few months here.
What was your age then?
I was 23.
23 years.
I'm an old man.
No,
But you don't.
think so.
I am. I'm 43 years old.
Seriously?
Yes.
No, you are joking.
Because Bengali genes, usually you know all about it, genetics. No, so I came in 2004, then I was here a couple of months.
Okay.
I came with my friend from England,
Yeah.
who is Pakistani origin. But we found, even back then, it was difficult for him to get the visa. For me, it was fine because
Yeah.
there were better relations with Bangladesh. But it was difficult for him to get the visa. But luckily, we were going to Ajmer Sharif for the Urs. You know Ajmer?
Yeah.
Rajasthan, we got Rajasthan. So, and we got an invitation from the shrine itself. So in the end, it was Pakistan from Pakistan come to the Urs, come to these ziyaratis. So we were there. We were in Bombay. We were in Maharashtra. We go through the states. Rajasthan, then Delhi, Haryana. We went up to Dharamsala,
So you have been to more states than me.
Goa. And then later, I've been coming many times. So I've been to the south as well, Tamil Nadu, Andhra.
So how is India culturally?
Fantastic. It's very diverse. But despite its diversity, there are still, there are certain sort of salient common patterns that you noticed. People's friendliness, warmth, hospitality, love for food, love for cricket, love for languages. Indians, I find, are very worldly, so they pay attention to what's happening in the world, not just in India. So I love it. I have a great time every.
You are coming here from 2004.
Yes.
Since then until now, what changes do you find?
Oh, can we answer this? You'll get me deported.
No.
You know? They're going to refuse my visa.
You can answer diplomatically.
Yeah. I think, how do I say? I think there's, I think India, when I first came here, there was a sense of the India that, the sort of post-independence India, the Nehruvian type of Indian vision. Whereas now I think it's moving less from pluralism and all the wonderful things that not only Indians celebrate, but the world celebrates about India. How it's such an ancient civilization which has incorporated, accommodated so many cultures, so many traditions from around the world, and has done it effortlessly for thousands of years. So I think when I first came, that was very stark. It was obvious to me that this was a very ancient place, which was very open and accepting and plural. But I think it's moved more, I get the sense, that it's moving a little bit more towards a more insulated vision for itself, more of there's a majoritarianism, and there's a stronger sense of nationalism than when I first came. Anyway. But that's just my experience.
And we are standing in the world's largest democracy, mother of democracy,
Yes.
is what we say. And just few kilometers away from us, we have Bangladesh, where the current situation is very hard.
Yeah.
How do you see it? Because you are from there.
I'm from there. I'm also a scholar of Bangladesh, so it's good. I mean, this is very serendipitous. Okay, so I follow the Indian media, and I have to say that the reporting on what's been happening on Bangladesh is very inaccurate. I mean, it's the most diplomatic way I can say.
Okay,
There, in the aftermath of the regime change last summer, there was maybe 48 hours of law and order problems where people were doing yukmat and coming out, and there's always you get
the visuals we are getting.
yeah. And then, but the impression that that I saw in the Indian media, and especially on social media, which was is not a very savoury place these days, right? But I have to say that it's inaccurate because I was initially concerned when I heard reports that minority populations, communities were being attacked. So I spoke to people I know. Obviously, I'm from Bangladesh. I was born there. My families are there. I have lots of friends there. I have professional colleagues, people who are academics, people who are other kinds of professions, lawyers, people in the police. And I asked them, look, what's going on? Are these people being attacked? And the actual truth of the matter is that there were some Awami League, the Awami League, the party that was ousted, there were some Awami League leaders who were attacked by the mob as soon as the regime fell because of things, historic injustices that they were involved in during the 15-year regime. And some of those guys were Hindu netas, right? Politicians. So they were being attacked, and it was quite gruesome and horrific. But South Asia can be quite violent, especially South Asian politics can be quite violent. It's not just in Bangladesh, it's the same in Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan. So what they were saying is that these guys were being attacked, but there were Muslim guys who were the same level of politician who were also being attacked. So it wasn't a communal attack per se. And then the other interesting development within the first week of it is you got these Jamati guys. Jamati, are you familiar with the Jamati? Jamatis are right-wing basically. They are Islamist guys, for want of a better term. And what was really interesting and curious is that I think they were politically motivated to do this to show a good face. But they immediately surrounded mandis, and churches and pagodas, all the minority places. They said, look, nobody will attack these guys. They weren't being attacked anyway, but just to show that that we care, they were doing that anyway. But just to say, I have many Hindu friends and neighbors in Bangladesh. They are totally integrated within Bangladeshi society. Bangladeshi society is a secular place, like India was in the whole Nehruvian vision. It wasn't like that. We had to break from Pakistan in order to be like that and incorporate the minorities. Minorities were instrumental in the independence of Bangladesh. Many of the freedom fighters were from Hindu backgrounds. Of course, Operation Searchlight, which was the military campaign in 70, initially went and attacked Hindus. So they were checking to see if Hindus were circumcised. There was a disproportionate level of Hindus who were killed in that struggle. So the nation of Bangladesh is born on the basis of this, a Bengali solidarity through language, Bhasha, And it doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Hindu, Christian, no religion, atheist, Nastic, doesn't matter. You're part of the vision of Bangladesh. So it was really sad to see this misinformation that was spread in India. And even now, people ask me when I said I'm from Bangladesh, they're like, oh, they're having a hard time, Indian people are having a hard time in Bangladesh. It's not true, There are idiots in every place who will take advantage of the situation, but generally speaking, there is no such thing. It's completely calm. There are people in interim government in the cabinet. There are representations from the Hindu community, not just the Hindu community, but the Chakma community as well. But, so, yes, it's a long way to answer your question, but it needed to be a detailed response, I think.
And how a British sees India after leaving?
Well, firstly, I'm British Iranian, so
What's your name?
my name's Omid.
Yeah.
So my ancestors are from Iran. Well, my parents are from Iran. I was born in the UK, but
Our friend.
we are, and we're actually neighbours. But I think my first feelings are awe and amazement at the richness of the culture, how incredibly deep it is, how little we understand about the depth of this culture, and how sad I am. The next feeling is sadness and remorse that it doesn't have nearly as much material wealth as it should compared to the richness of the civilization. I think, I was going to say, we, the British, might have something to do with that. And I do feel sad that this depth of culture isn't communicated to the average Brit. I mean, there are many British people who do admire, fascinate. I mean, the people who know about India their first response is, wow, you're going to India, how amazing, you're so lucky, where are you going? Oh, amazing, I love that, I love this, oh, I want to see that. So the people who know, really know, and those that don't, at first I feel sorry for them, but then also I get upset because they're so materially wealthy there, and I just feel the depth of culture in India is unparalleled, possibly in the world.
How important it is to travel?
I think it's very important. I think the broader your horizons, the richer your life, the bigger your capacity to appreciate life. I mean, it comes with other things. The more you know, the more you need to do. So it's not easy either. I mean, those who maybe know less, maybe have easier life. But I think on all levels of character and knowledge, some broadening of horizons will only serve you in life. So my feeling about that is that it's ultimately very important.